Imagine a deep breath. The lights are warm. The audience quiets. The speaker steps forward, smiling with presence and gravity. There comes a moment in every woman's life when the world goes quiet, when the noise of obligations, expectations, and constant giving fades just enough for one voice, the one that's been waiting to whisper, "It's time, time to return, time to reclaim, time to move forward, one step at a time. Because walking, simple, steady, ordinary walking, is not just movement, it's medicine, it's declaration. It's freedom disguised as footsteps. Every woman over 50 must do this exercise, not because it's fashionable, not because a doctor prescribed it, not because some influencer said so, but because walking is the purest form of saying, "I am still here." Think about it. You've walked through everything, through decades of love and loss, through joy and heartbreak, through building lives, raising others, caring for everyone but yourself. You've walked through storms, the kind the world saw, and the kind only you knew. And now, as the years unfold, your steps mean something different. They mean you've chosen to keep going. When a woman over 50 walks, she's not exercising. She's claiming her ground. We live in a culture that tells women to slow down as they age, to shrink, to step aside, to make room for someone younger, faster, louder. But I'm here to tell you, this is the moment to step up. This is the time to move, to walk like the earth itself belongs to you. Because it does. Walking is the simplest act of defiance. No machines, no memberships, no mirrors judging you. Just you and the rhythm of your own body, reminding you that you are capable, powerful, and still becoming. Every step is an argument against surrender. I want you to picture this. Early morning, quiet air, the sky still undecided between night and day. You lace up your shoes. The ground feels cold, firm. You take that first step, and in that moment, something ancient inside you wakes up. That's not just a walk. That's your body remembering what it was built for. Strength, endurance, life. Do not underestimate that first step. It is rebellion. It is prayer. It is your heart saying, "I am not finished yet." Walking is the gateway to everything. It lowers blood pressure, calms the mind, strengthens bones, and ignites energy. But more than that, it reminds you of who you are. Because somewhere along the way, many women forget. You spent decades walking for others, to school, to work, to appointments, to stores, to kitchens, to hospitals. Always moving for someone else. Always putting your body in service of someone else's needs. But now, this walk is yours. Every step is yours. And the beauty is, it doesn't matter how fast you go. It doesn't matter if your knees creak or if your breath comes heavier than before. You are moving. You are alive. You are participating in the grand act of continuing. There is something sacred about walking that other exercises can't touch. Because when you walk, you connect with the world again. You see things. You breathe differently. You become part of something larger than the walls around you. That's why every woman over 50 must walk, because it reconnects her to life itself. When you walk, you let your thoughts stretch out. You make room for dreams again. You solve problems you didn't even know how to name. You grieve, you forgive, you laugh out loud sometimes, and no one even needs to know why. The world becomes a companion again, not an enemy, and walking doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't judge you. It doesn't care about your size, your shape, or your age. It just asks you to begin. You see, strength training, yoga, cycling, they're wonderful. But walking is primal. It's universal. You can do it anywhere. You can do it alone, or with a friend, or with your thoughts. You can do it in silence or with music, through sunshine or drizzle. The ground is always waiting. I have seen women transformed by this simple act. Women who thought their best years were behind them, who began to walk just 10 minutes a day, and found that their bodies responded like loyal friends who had just been waiting to be called. Again, their energy returned. Their sleep improved. Their moods lifted. They started noticing things, birds, laughter, sunsets. Things they've been too busy or too tired to see. Walking doesn't just strengthen the legs. It strengthens the soul, and something extraordinary happens when you walk consistently. At first, you do it for your body. Then you start doing it for your mind. And eventually, you do it for your spirit. It becomes meditation in motion. Each step teaches you patience. Each mile teaches you persistence. Each walk teaches you presence. I know some of you are thinking, but I'm too tired, or my knees hurt, or I don't have time. Let me tell you this, time will pass anyway. Pain will visit you whether you sit or move. Tiredness is not the enemy. Stagnation is. You don't have to walk far. You just have to start. The magic is not in the miles. It's in the decision. And every time you do it, every time you lace up those shoes and head out the door, you're telling your body, you still matter to me. That is what walking is, an act of care, an act of respect. There's a reason great thinkers, writers, and leaders all walked. Because walking brings clarity. It slows the world down to the pace of thought. It opens doors inside you that nothing else can. If you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever felt unseen, walking changes that. Because when you walk, you see yourself again. You become visible to your own life. The air touches your face, and you feel it, not as an afterthought, but as a living being. You start to notice how the ground supports you, how your lungs fill, how your heart, even after all these years, still beats with power. And you realize something profound. Aging is not the ending of movement. It is the refinement of it. Walking teaches you to move with intention, not speed, with grace, not competition. Every woman over 50 must do this exercise because it's the key to unlocking the next chapter. The one where you stop surviving and start living deliberately. Walking invites reflection. It gives you space to process the past, to forgive yourself, to dream forward. When you walk, you learn the rhythm of letting go. Step after step after step, the things that used to weigh you down begin to lose their grip. The body loosens, the mind clears, the heart opens, and when that happens, something miraculous occurs. You start to want more for yourself, not in a restless way, but in a grounded way. You want to eat better, sleep better, think better, be better, because you realize you deserve better. Walking is not just an exercise, it's a statement. It says, I'm not done growing. So walk when you're happy, walk when you're sad, walk when you're confused, when you're angry, when you're grateful, walk when you have no words, because the ground always listens. You'll notice that as you walk more, your body begins to trust you again. Your balance improves, your breath deepens, your steps feel lighter. You begin to inhabit your body again, fully, proudly. That is power. And let's talk about that, power. For so many years, power was measured by what you could lift, or how much you could earn, or who you could care for. But walking gives you a different kind of power, the quiet, unshakable kind. The kind that says, I belong here, exactly as I am. That's why walking matters so deeply at this stage of life. Because it's no longer about proving anything. It's about being everything. I've seen women walk their way out of depression, anxiety, fear, and self-doubt. I've seen women find that courage again, not by running marathons, but by walking around the block and realizing that they are stronger than they thought. And once that realization hits, there's no turning back, because walking doesn't just move your body, it moves your life forward. You start small. You walk 10 minutes a day, then 15, then 20, then one day, you find yourself walking for an hour without even noticing the time, because you've slipped into that beautiful flow where the world and you move as one. That's when you realize this isn't just exercise. This is freedom. Freedom from fear, from limits, from the old stories that told you what you couldn't do. When you walk, you rewrite those stories. And if you ever feel discouraged, remember this: the body loves consistency more than intensity. You don't need to walk fast or far. You just need to walk often, because the truth is, walking is the foundation of longevity. It strengthens the heart, improves memory, sharpens focus, balances hormones, stabilizes mood, boosts immunity. It literally adds years, quality years, to your life. But even more importantly, it adds life to your years. So, my message is simple. Start today. Don't wait for perfect weather. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for someone to go with you. Just begin. The first few steps are always the hardest. But once you begin, your body will remember. It will say, this is what we were made for. You'll feel it. That quiet, beautiful strength rising up from the soles of your feet, through your legs, into your chest. You'll feel your pulse steady, your breath deepen, your shoulders drop. You'll feel alive again. And the world, the same world that once seemed small, will suddenly feel wide again. Walking gives you back the horizon. So take that walk. Do it for your body, yes, but also for your spirit, for the girl you once were, and for the woman you're still becoming. Because this movement, this rhythm, this simple act of placing one foot in front of the other is how you remind yourself that life continues, beautifully, powerfully, endlessly. Every woman over 50 must do this exercise. Because walking is not just about staying fit, it's about staying connected to your body,